I'm here because our voice is no longer heard unless we have millions of dollars to back it up, and that is causing the meltdown of our society, of our planet. And I feel like we're to a point of an entire generation feeling like they're inheriting a planet and a system that's rapidly going down, and that's not something that any generation wants to inherit. So I think we're here to organize, to get our voices heard, to have what I see as direct democracy spread.
I got a button that gives you a little bit of an idea. Here it is. What do we want? Well, for starters, tax the rich, stop the war, jobs for all. Is this one yours? Oh, do you want one of these? Economic justice, that's why we're here.
Corporate personhood.
Yeah, there's a lot of reasons we're here. The media wants to make it look like we don't know why we're here. There might be differences of opinion, but there's a consensus on the fact that we have to level the economic playing field so that we don't have an extreme concentration of wealth. It's pretty damn simple.
All sorts of poverty, deprivation, human misery has been inflicted on the human race by the greedy tycoons on Wall Street. They are pernicious, nefarious, insidious, and perfidious and treacherous with our money.
So these are the three rules of the game of capitalism. Profit based on the exploitation of wage labor, expand or die, the commandment to expand or die, to stay alive as a functioning unit of capital. And the third rule of the game is to win at the game for global dominance. Now, these economic laws that I'm talking about, these rules, I've used the metaphor of rules like the rules of a basketball or a soccer game, but these are actually laws. These are the objective laws of functioning of the capitalist system. It operates according to these laws. And if these individual units don't obey those laws, I'm not talking about laws on the juridical front, I'm talking about economic laws of compulsion that compels them to act in certain ways. If they don't act in those ways, I'm gonna finish my talk, please. I'm gonna finish it in 5 minutes. So these laws are at the...
Often desire something but do not really want it.
People often desire something but do not really want it.
Don't be afraid to really want what you desire.
Don't be afraid to really want what you desire.
Thank you very much.
On August 28th, took out the rest of what I've been holding on to with my fingernails for the last 3 years. The oil companies and the mortgage companies have sucked me so dry, with the economy going down by 80% in my industry in my town. I've been forced to take out loan after loan on credit cards in order to keep my business going. I've been an entrepreneur my whole life, extremely successful, extremely hardworking, paying all my taxes on time, income tax, and raised 3 children without welfare, without a penny of assistance. They're all independent, hardworking parts of society, and here I am, their mother's about to become homeless. Because within the next week, I'm going to start foreclosure because I cannot keep up. Now that the hurricane has finished me off, there's no funding for me. I can't even get food stamps.
We're here to support the 99%.
Yeah, so the way we felt we could do it was by bringing some food and helping out that way. Yeah. Totally behind the idea of the 1% controlling so much of America, and it's about time that I think the 99% voices were heard.
My friend, I've been talking about this and following the protest, and my friend Jeff said he was coming down, and I thought that, it'd be nice to come and see it for myself. to add my voice, to add to the crowds, and to see what it's all about.
You see that building across the street? That's Building 2, World Trade Center Building 2 again. You see, it's coming together. That's hope. America's going to rise again. The dollar's going to reign supreme. The election is coming. The election is coming. The election is coming. And we are here.
I'm here in Wall Street. I'm just trying to help everybody out. Everybody's got to help everybody. You see somebody hurt, you help them out. You see somebody in need, you help them out. You see trouble, you got to take action. You got to do what you have to do. Even if it's just standing and holding a sign. I don't know. Just literally every little part. I don't really have anything deep to say. Honestly, it's just. You guys read about it in the news. It's time to take action. That's all I could say. I'm here.
If you go around the plaza, there are 100, maybe 200 or 500 agendas. And I wouldn't represent any one. I may agree with some, I may not care about others. But I think the whole, such as the sign behind us, the medium is our message. The whole idea that people are gathering and talking is the message right now. Our government doesn't have a workable forum for people to talk and have a participatory democracy. Right now we have a representative form of government that's not doing what the people want.
I believe this is a growing movement. There's great energy in the movement, and I wanted to add my effort to it because economic injustice is something that I've been concerned with ever since I first started studying it in college classes 15 years ago. And I've been doing little bits here and there to try and address some of the economic inequalities in our society. But this is the first big effort in my lifetime that I've been personally involved with. And I was involved down in the Triangle region of North Carolina, in Durham and Chapel Hill, Raleigh. But of course, this is the big spot. This is where it's really happening. I'm lucky that I found a good neighborhood, is what I call it. That's what we call this little section. A bunch of us have been staying here night after night. We know each other. We know each other's stories. We chat. We vent to each other. We celebrate together. And so my friend and I were talking about how it's starting to look a little grungy. Maybe it's time for a sweep and a hand scrubbing. So that's what I'm getting ready to do after I finish brooming here.
I'm also on the other side of the business. I've been a financial planner for, and over that time period, I realized people in the business were more driven by money and status than they were by the good things you can do for people. And when I saw all the things like Madoff, and I saw after-hours trading scandals, and I saw derivative scandals, and I used to tell people, no, this is a safe fund because it's a Fortune 500 company. Well, then Enron cooked their books. This is truly the purest form of democracy I've ever seen. They got a hospital. They got a food line. They've got a legal person to help you. They've got a lot. So here I am. I'm laying right here looking up. On Saturday night, knowing I got a place, knowing I'm surrounded by great people, and knowing 2 blocks down there's a Hilton for $400 a night, and I'm going, man, I bet you I slept better on this cement than most of those guys do in their big mansions. Because I went to sleep knowing I was really affecting something for good.
Oh yeah, you obviously work for the government. You're brain dead. Okay, you union member. I earn $90,000. I earn $90,000. $90,000. Get a job, faggot. Get a job, bum.
Get him out. He's harassing us.
They're the ones assaulting the police. Pay your tax. Pay your tax. Pay your tax. Pay your tax. Peace. Peace.
Through my ex-girlfriend taught me, and I've just been making hats and sweaters and blankets and experimenting with yarn, and super fun. and I actually just enjoy being here even though it's really cold, and I like that I found a group that is also knitting. It's like Stitch and Bitch, but for Occupy Wall Street. So it's pretty cool.
Well, I'm in between jobs right now, and it's what I know how to do. I would love to give them money, but I don't have any, so I came down here to support them in solidarity and knit. And so far, I've made over 30 items, hats, scarves, and mittens to give to the people who do stay here in the park at night, because it's getting really cold. Originally, I came down here because I'm an American, and Americans have a right to free speech, the privilege to protest, and a duty to try to change something when they see it's wrong. And I have 5 grandkids. One is 2 years away from college, and she sees no hope of having enough money to go to college in the current economic environment. So I'm here for them as much as anything else.
My mother was the director of an immigrant services program and a food pantry, so I grew up helping people out, especially helping out those that are hungry, and so I'm here helping out, because that's the way I was raised. I'm here at the protest because as an international relations and an economics student, it is my responsibility as an economist of the future to push for the change I want to see in this world.
What is the 1%?
Ah, very good question. Okay. What? Okay. Supposing there were 100 people in your school, right? Okay. Supposing 99 of those people every day got 25 cents for lunch, okay? And supposing one person got $100 for lunch. Would you think that was fair? No. Well, that's...
For me, I think it was fair because I have $200.
You have $200 saved up, I bet, right?
Actually, I got 100 for my birthday, and the other 100 my mom's grandpa gave me.
Well, that's excellent, and that's good that you saved that money because you might need it. 15 years I've been, reading the New York Times every day and reading the statistics and reading the editorials and knowing that this was happening to our economy and that it was unsustainable and that eventually the bubble was going to have to burst. And then when I finally heard somebody talking about it and actually saying it, starting with Obama, who really kind of sparked me by saying, I'm not going to make huge cuts to Social Security and Medicare and keep the tax cuts for the wealthy in place. I'm not going to make that deal. That's one deal I'm not going to make. And I thought, well, thank God for that. But, there's still a lot of work to be done. And just the fact that he keeps repeating the phrase, that he keeps talking about tax cuts for the rich. I mean, he knows, he knows what situation we're in. He's trying to do something about it. I almost feel sometimes like just by repeating the things he's been repeating, he's been hoping something like this would get sparked. Because he knew he couldn't do it alone. He absolutely couldn't do it alone. It was going to take something like this to change the system.